If your greenhouse looks sunny to you, but your lettuce is reaching like it's under a porch roof, today's cover choice matters. Welcome to RootInsect.com.
And if you've ever stood in a greenhouse with coffee in your hand thinking, it seems bright in here, while your seedlings are leaning south by mid-afternoon, you already know your eyes can lie.
That's the frustrating part. We're talking about 95% light transmission greenhouse film today, but not in a shiny product label way. More like, is this plastic worth wrestling onto a hoop house in March wind?
Which is the correct standard. Because once you've chased spring clamps across the yard, you get picky fast.
So let's start there. When a greenhouse film says 95% light transmission, what does that actually solve?
It helps get more sunlight into the structure, which is huge for winter greens, early tomatoes, peppers, potted citrus, and seed starting. But it doesn't fix a bad site. If your greenhouse is shaded half the day, even the clearest film won't perform miracles.
We learned that one the dumb way. Our first little hoop house was about 18 feet from a row of Norway spruce because it was close to the hose. Very convenient. Very useless.
In January, that setup got maybe 4 honest hours of sun. The spinach didn't care that the hose was nearby. It wanted light.
I still maintain hose convenience matters.
It matters after you've put the greenhouse where the sun actually hits it. That's the order.
Fair. Now, something that trips people up is the claim itself. You'll see up to 95% transmission, but that might mean visible light, not necessarily PAR.
Right. Plants use PAR, photosynthetically active radiation. That's the useful light for photosynthesis. A cover can look bright to us and still not give plants what they need. And some numbers are measured when the film is brand new, not after 3 summers of UV, dust, pollen, and every maple seed in the neighborhood stuck to the roof.
So you're saying don't buy based only on the prettiest number in the listing.
Exactly. Look for actual greenhouse poly, UV resistance, thickness, and replacement expectations. A cheap clear tarp might be tempting in April, but by August it can be brittle, loud in the wind, and flaking plastic bits where you grow food. No thank you.
Been there. The temporary farm store cover that somehow became permanent until it cracked like a potato chip.
Ordinary construction plastic isn't greenhouse plastic. I'll stand on that hill with a trowel in my hand.
So if you were covering a working hoop house tomorrow and wanted that high-light, clear film setup, where would you start?
I'd start with Techfoil Clear 6mm greenhouse polyfilm with a 4-year UV rating. Not because it's fancy, it's plastic. But 6mm greenhouse poly is common for a reason. It's flexible, easier to install than rigid panels, and if a branch falls or you cut something wrong, replacement doesn't feel like a financial tragedy.
That 4-year UV rating is the part I'd underline. Sunlight doesn't just feed plants, it destroys bad plastic.
And the cover has more jobs than people think. It has to handle UV breakdown, wind flap, snow load, maybe hail, condensation drip, and daily heat swings. Light transmission is important, but durability is what keeps you from recovering every season.
Where do you land on clear versus diffused film? Because I like maximum sun, especially in winter.
I know you do, and I mostly agree. Clear film can be excellent when you need every bit of direct light, but diffusion has its place. A slightly diffused cover can scatter light, so lower leaves get more of it and shadows aren't as harsh. I've seen peppers set fruit more evenly on the north side under a mildly diffused cover.
But too milky and seedlings stretch.
Exactly. Diffused isn't automatically better, and clear isn't automatically better. Match it to your crop, season, and site. For winter greens or seed starting in a marginal light area, I'd lean clear and high transmission. For summer crops with intense sun, a little diffusion can be helpful.
And then there's rigid panels. They win on structure in some ways.
They do. Panels can handle snow and wind better if installed well, and they can last longer. But clear polyfilm is cheaper, easier to wrap over a hoop, and much easier to replace. For a small grower, that matters.
So the practical advice is, Don't let a 95% claim hypnotize you. Put the greenhouse in real sun first, look for greenhouse grade 6 mil poly, check the UV rating, and think about how the cover will age.
And clean it. A high transmission film covered in pollen, dust, and leaf litter isn't high transmission anymore. Sometimes the cheapest light upgrade is a soft brush and a calm afternoon.
Calm afternoon being the rarest greenhouse supply.
More rare than spring clamps, somehow.
If folks are planning a full setup, cover choice is only one piece. Ventilation, anchoring, bed layout, water access, and winter sun angle all matter.
But if the plants are leggy, slow, and leaning, the cover is a smart place to investigate. Just don't expect plastic to fix a shady location or poor airflow.
Practical, slightly annoying, and very true.
Thank you for listening to this edition of RudeInsect.com, Conversations with Grant and Fiona.